I was remiss last week in not noting the death of Michael Ratner, and I want to talk about that for a second now. Michael Ratner was a human rights lawyer. He was a great progressive leader in the best sense of that word. He was affiliated with the Center for Constitutional Rights and the National Lawyers Guild. He passed away last week. He was an innovator in legal strategies as well as strategies for advocacy and activism and mobilization. I recommend Phyllis Bennis's obituary on him. If you want to know more about him, she's with the Institute for Policy Studies. Now, one of the great things about Michael Ratner was that he was fearless in every sense of the word, as a great defense lawyer should be. He was fearless about the clients he took on. He was fearless about the causes he advocated for without worrying about what people in polite society might think about him if he did it. For example, he was very central in making sure that the decision of the International Court of Justice holding the United States liable for bombing Nicaragua was enforced. He defended, and again, I'm relying on Phyllis's summary of his life, he defended inmates charged in the Attica prison uprising. He got many protesters out of jail, including Central American activists and Palestinian human rights activists, and he was among the first in the frightening days after 9/11 and after the start of the war on Iraq. He was one of the first to come out and fight for the rights of detainees at Guantanamo Bay prison, especially those held without charge or without trial, many of whom we now know to be innocent. And that's why, even though I didn't know him, Michael Ratner was an inspiration to me. He was an inspiration to me because of that kind of fearlessness that allowed him to buck the frightening national security mentality of the mid-first decade of this century and stand up for people that were so unpopular at the time, Guantanamo Bay detainees, Palestinian rights activists, and so on. That takes a special kind of courage, a special kind of fearlessness. I'd love to come on this program and tell you that I am as fearless as Michael Ratner, but far too often I find myself holding back, afraid to say what's really on my mind, afraid to commit myself fully to the causes that I know are right because I'm fearful of the consequences. I'm glad I had someone like Michael Ratner to inspire me further.